very much, Tanera. Well, you folks may be familiar with this device we're about to show you, but the matter of fact is these water pipes known as shisha or hookah pipes are much more than a device. They're a cultural tool, if you will, a very popular part of Middle Eastern and African culture, a social activity. Water pipes with multiple hoses where in some instances tobacco, in other instances fruit-flavored molasses are burned. The province considers that molasses to be a tobacco-like product, and moves are being made to ban shisha smoking in Alberta restaurants. Barb Borkent joins us now with the Alberta Lung Association, Don Martin with Safe Shisha. The two of you have different perspectives on this issue. Barb, why would the Alberta Lung Association like to see even this molasses-based product banned from shisha pipe smoking here in Alberta?
Well, at the Lung Association, we're quite concerned about protecting Albertans' health. And we're concerned because anytime you burn any type of organic product, there are many toxins and chemicals that are given off that we know are damaging to the lungs, to the airways, to the passages, as well as the cardiovascular system, periodontal, or the tooth and the gum disease. So we have a lot of concerns about what's being burned and inhaled by
Okay,
Albertans.
now Don, you're saying, hey everybody, hang on a second here. Is this maybe much ado about nothing?
Well, you know, it's kind of an interesting case because this is coming to us under the banner of an anti-tobacco reduction strategy, and of course it is illegal to have tobacco in any sort of a pipe being smoked in a restaurant in the province of Alberta. There's a lot of non-tobacco products out on the market, 3,000 of them, I mean, by our estimation, and so we're saying that this is coming to us in a little bit of a funny way.
Barb, for many cultures where alcohol, as an example, would be banned, shisha smoking is seen as a bit of a substitute. Many people will say they can't wrap up a meal without smoking shisha at the end. Is there any consideration of the fact that a ban like this could be perceived in some way, shape, or form as discriminatory?
Well, at the Lung Association, we know that much as there are many of the Middle Eastern cultures that do consume shisha, in fact, many of those countries are now bringing in their own bans on shisha use in the public places because of their concerns, what they're seeing for the secondhand effects of shisha use, as well as for their own people using and smoking the shisha.
Don, I've certainly seen several restaurants around Edmonton. Can you give us an idea of how big the shisha or hookah business is in the province and what kind of an impact a ban like this might have?
Sure. Well, just 5 of them opened last week. I mean, it's amazing. There's probably about 35 to 40 restaurants that are currently operating in the city of Edmonton, and between 25 and 30 in the city of Calgary.
Okay, now Barb's argument is fairly straightforward. They say we know that the smoking of product can cause cardiovascular issues, can contain carcinogens, etc. What's the argument against this ban? What's the safe shisha argument why the practice should continue to be allowed in provincial restaurants?
Well, let's just back up just one real quick minute, because what's interesting about this case, and one of the reasons that I was really eager to take this on, is when the province went in to institute this ban, this was the entire industry was unaware. This was going to be snuck through the legislature in the fall sitting, and there was no consultation with industry to sort of clean up the act. So as it stands now, the entire service is unregulated. There's no ventilation standards. There's no age restriction, and so before the province instituted a ban, we sort of thought, well, the province should maybe negotiate a little bit with the many business owners that are involved. We should be talking about things like setting age restrictions and ventilation standards. Obviously, we can control what goes into the shisha that's being smoked. So why aren't we having a conversation about, you know, cleaning it up before we talk about a ban?
Barb, are you open to conversation or debate on this?
Well, of course, at the Lung Association, we know that it's not healthy or safe to smoke anything into our airway passages. So whether we're talking about a true shisha that does not contain nicotine-type tobacco or other tobacco, it still contains extreme large numbers of toxins that damage our airways, damage our health.
You're probably sick of hearing this argument, but I'm going to ask it as, well, not a rhetorical question, because I'm interested in your response. Is it the job of government or private groups or public lobby groups, even for that matter, to interfere in situations that are not necessarily the most healthy for us, but situations that represent a choice? In other words, and this is where people roll their eyes, at what point do groups start to interfere with the amount of butter that I put on my toast in the morning?
Well, our concern is definitely that this shisha use is appealing to young people. And we know that many times young people make some poor choices, and it's the same type of thing that's happening with flavoring in tobacco. Is the flavoring in the shisha is drawing a lot of young people to try it. They start it, and then it also encourages them to start using other products to smoke as well. So our concern is we want to protect the youth from this exposure and from the use of the shisha.
I saw your eyes light up. I have 15 seconds.
Sure. I mean, there's not a single guy that I'm working with that wants to see young people in their restaurants or to see restaurants opened anywhere near schools. So community standards and a ban on people under the age of 18 is completely part of our platform.
Okay, we're going to post this question on our Facebook page. We have no doubt this conversation will unfold in dramatic fashion over the next couple of hours. We'll get to as many responses as we can. Don Martin with Safe Shisha, Barb Borkent with Alberta Lung Association. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Ryan.
Breakfast Television back with news, traffic, and weather next.